Does your child regularly have temper tantrums, and you have difficulty reacting in a positive and caring manner with them? Yes? In this short video, we present 3 simple steps to immediately halt your child's temper tantrums without resorting to educational violence. The more you practice these effective steps with your toddler or young child, the more they will become a lifelong habit. You will then become one of those impressive parents who can stop mighty temper tantrums in a few minutes, and often in less than 30 seconds. These practical steps are based on simple tips in gentle and positive parenting that we have collected over the 15 years we have been advising hundreds of thousands of parents on this subject, as well as on the latest studies in parenting and neuroscience. Stay until the very end to learn about these 3 still little known but ultra-effective steps to guide children adequately without causing long-term problems. Step number 1. Welcome your child's emotions with empathy. Your caring first stage is to peacefully welcome your child's emotions with understanding and love. We can also call it a gentle, emotional co-regulation. Why do this before any other steps? Because this unconditional welcoming recognizes our little loves as someone important and starts emotional regulation. Our young human will internalize from the start that he is someone who has value, is important, is fundamentally good, and whose emotions are always valid. By welcoming your child's emotions, your empathetic recognition will also soothe your child by leading her towards calm and peacefully putting an end to her difficult period. We have to be aware at that time that one part of her brain, the amygdala, has detected a threat, and another, the hypothalamus, is sending the message to react to the identified danger. Not knowing what to do with these impulses at such a young age, your tender child is then entering into a temper tantrum, or, as it is also called scientifically, a dysregulation. To put a clear image on this phenomenon, remember that your immature child does not yet have the cover to contain a pot full of boiling water, as psychologist Dr. Mary Margaret Gleason explains. This will be the role of the prefrontal cortex that they will develop as they age. So, you help in this first stage to be the cover by co-regulating their emotions. How can we proceed to empathetically welcome our child's strong emotions and help signal that there is no danger anymore? What we can ask ourselves before a crisis occurs is, how would we have liked our caring parent to react when we had a dysregulation ourselves? This deep questioning will help us build the pillars of our positive parenting approach. In particular, what can work very well during our child's tantrum is to remain calm, to welcome our child's tears and emotions by going to him with a hug and being close to him. We can lean down, get on his level, maintain eye contact, and use gentle gestures and tone. This also allows, with the help of your little love's mirror neurons, to imitate your peaceful attitude. This gentle method of welcoming emotions is a way of caring for your child and telling them that you are there for them through your actions as well. So, before guiding the behavior of your little treasure, go to her, protect her from hurting herself or others, wrap her in your arms if she accepts, and help her vent her emotions. This emotional release, welcomed with peace and love, will also help to let go of the energy mobilized by the problematic situation. This energy of distress, engaged in your child's crisis, needs to be discharged. Otherwise, it disrupts his entire being. For your child, these are emotions that must be experienced and externalized to move on to any other stage. Let's also remember that if we have put a benevolent limit on a situation, and our little human experiences frustration as a result, it is their fundamental right to be disappointed. For example, if as a parent we say, "No, we stay away from the oven because it's dangerous to get burned," but our young, budding scientist wanted to go and explore this curious appliance that he doesn't know is dangerous, it's obviously frustrating for him. At this challenging time, we welcome our child, and this will help diffuse their angry energy, experience their frustration, and then move on to other things. In summary, the first step is to welcome emotions with love, to reach out to our child, and to be a spiritual and caring model for them. We always show them that they are very important despite everything. Before moving on to the next step, remember to subscribe with notifications to receive our very practical videos full of little-known information, which are the fruits of our long experience and research in positive parenting. Step number 2, creating a loving parent-child reconnection. The second stage must be a stage of reattachment to your child, because you cannot truly be a guide for them until they recognize you as such. To instinctively recognize you as a guide, your kid must have a secure attachment to you. Dr. Gordon Neufeld has coined a wonderful term to explain this bond of taming and attachment, namely, a psychological umbilical cord. A secure attachment is created daily by meeting the needs of your child. On the other hand, during a crisis, the bond can tend to unravel and let your child drift away by rejecting everything, including parental guidance. How can we recreate the crucial parent-child reconnection at this time? By spending time together until the reconnection is rebuilt. You can hold your child, welcome him while he's going through his temper tantrum, and then you can talk about anything and everything together, if your child is mature enough and if his crisis is over. Otherwise, if he is still too young, this reconnection period is a time to stay together and build trust. For example, by putting him in an ergonomic baby carrier. It is important not to resort to a period of punishment or timeout and not to separate him from you. Timeouts are not recommended because, among other things, they tend to sever the secure connection between you and your child. Once the temper tantrum has calmed down, you can take some time together to reconnect, away from the situation that caused the problem. If you are at home, you can isolate with your child, such as going to a room and spending time together. If you are in a public place, such as the supermarket, step aside and reconnect with your child. Do not worry, every parent has lived through that situation. Ignore the curious looks and recreate your important bond with your child. At this time, the psychological umbilical cord will be reconstructed. Also, the more times you work on your reconnection, the more the maturation of neuronal connections will occur in your child's prefrontal brain. She will become able to control her emotions and self-regulate more and more efficiently. This caring approach to your child's tantrums is a respectful way of responding to tantrums, similar to what is used with an adult. We would not isolate an adult friend apart if they were going through a situation that was difficult for them. If an adult cries, we tend to go to them and help them. We act with the same respect towards our child, and this respect will help them as well. If we put them aside as punishment, it would activate pain signals in their brain, because proximity is a fundamental need for our child. If they are separated from their attachment parent against their will, then it hurts them. It is therefore not recommended to isolate our little love alone in a room. Rather, we must stay connected to them. Step number 3, explanation of social norms and expectations. The last step is to explain to your child for his security, maturation, and socialization. This step can be separated from the first 2 steps. If necessary, it can be done later in the day. For example, If it is too difficult at the supermarket, we can then explain that we will continue shopping and have a conversation later at home about what we experienced. This third step should be done at a calmer time when your child is no longer overwhelmed or in an ultra-reactive state. The goal of the explanation stage with your child is therefore to help your little one understand expectations and social norms. Repetition over time will ensure that the daily instructions are well understood and respected. This stage also wants to help the cognitive maturation of her prefrontal cortex, which will eventually allow her to better control her emotions and impulses. When a child carefully develops her prefrontal brain over the years, with the help of caring and attentive parenting, it becomes easier for her to deal with her strong emotions and impulses, and this reduces crises. How to proceed? For a young child, be sure to use a short and effective explanation, including both the direction and the reason why, if it is possible and if it can be understood. For example, it can be, "No, you need to keep your hands away from the oven because it is very hot and it can hurt you." Use simple words he understands, with all the gentleness, empathy, and leadership you are capable of at the time. Then, direct your child towards the next action you want to do with him, such as putting him in an ergonomic baby carrier to finish your shopping, guiding him toward an activity he needs, such as sleeping, or towards what he likes to do, such as playing outside. The older your child gets, the more detailed explanations you can provide. Our little ones usually like to have an equal conversation with them, the kind we might have with our friends. Don't use authoritarian parenting, but rather authoritative parenting, where you are a gentle and caring leader. You will then be recognized by your child as a great guide and a wise friend. Authoritative parenting is currently widely studied and is considered superior to authoritarian, permissive, or neglectful parenting. With the help of your empathetic explanations, you lay a loving foundation for a secure long-term relationship with your child. In summary, during this third stage, we adopt the explanation to our child's understanding. At this time, we help with the security, maturation, and socialization of our little human. The first two steps to cease your child's temper tantrums are focused on your child and your connection, where you help to stop the crisis as well as protect your child and your bond together. The third stage advances regulation, maturation, and socialization. It lays out the social rules through simple or detailed explanations depending on your child's age to help mature the brain of your precious cherub. Let's review everything. We hope these 3 simple steps help you wonderfully in your daily life. Let's briefly identify them again to help you use them when necessary. 1. The first step is to welcome our child's emotions first, where we show our child that they are important and help relieve their stress by welcoming and co-regulating their emotions. 2. The second step is the intentional reconnection with our child to secure their emotional bond with us, which allows us to reassure and guide them. 3. The third step is the explanation in simple form or a friendly conversation, depending on the age of our child, to help our little angel understand social norms and mature their prefrontal cortex that will help them self-regulate. We hope this comprehensive video has greatly helped you understand what your child goes through during a temper tantrum and how to cease it quickly. Have you experienced specific difficult situations with your child's temper tantrums, and you would like to receive some caring advice from our beautiful community on this subject? We invite you to share your experiences and your tips in the comments. Please share this informative video on temper tantrums with those you know who may need this practical approach. We wish you a sweet connection and more ease in your family when you experience a crisis. Click here to watch our next video to truly help you with your loving parenting approach. See you soon, dear caring parent.